Does this mic work?
Hello?
Well then, fuck that mic!
You're listening to the only podcast that admits they might know what they are talking about.
And that's just facts!
This is We Might Know Sports.
I love you!
With Stefan.
Well, the topic Corey might like. I don't even know.
Kevin. Oh, damn it. I already picked him. And Corey.
I hope everyone has a ball.
We like sports and we don't care who knows.
No forget Jesus, people!
The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
Without Jerry McNamara, we wouldn't have won 10 fucking games this year.
Where are we at in society today? Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Don't tell me how upset I am.
And tonight I saw and heard one of the most disgusting, rudest, sick demonstrations in my entire career. Probably the worst.
Buckle up, buckaroo!
And here we go.
Because I can edit this post.
Yeah. Can you edit Brad Pitt's face on my body?
I'm not that good.
Edit Brad Pitt's body on my face. That'd be weird.
My face on Brad Pitt's body.
Okay.
Alright. So this is episode 31. This is our third attempt at this. What? Third? We're not doing this live.
Third time's a charm.
You can text us. Post.
It'll be better this way. We're already 10 beers deep.
Yeah. We really want
10
to
beers
do
and
this.
one Dr. Thunder.
We can go much faster than we do.
Alright, so let's talk about some NASCAR.
So NASCAR happened. Kyle Larson won the race, who I picked, but it didn't matter because he was only worth 45 points, and they both picked Eric Jones, who was worth 47 points. So on the only week where we all get 40 points, I get the short end of the stick.
Even picking the winner.
Yeah, even picking the winner. So on that note, we're moving on to Bristol, which, unlike Michigan, has nothing to do with speed, has more to do with the skill of the driver. So, Stefan, who are you picking for Bristol?
Austin Dillon all the way. He's probably going to just pull out a win here, just randomly. He's that tactical of a driver.
At least one of us thinks so. Moving on, Kevin.
Picking Ryan Newman because I haven't picked him yet.
He's top,
And he's top
5 last week. He's a pretty good driver. And I am going with Trevor Bayne, who was also top 5 last week and is an awful driver. So I'm really just taking a shot in the dark. The other quick NASCAR news I wanted to say was Chevy moved to the Camaro body style starting in 2018. They're no longer going with the Monte Carlo SS because Chevy no longer makes the Monte Carlo SS. And the Camaro's body style is more aerodynamic anyways. So it should help for faster cars, theoretically.
Better on the eyes.
And it's better on the eyes. It's much cooler body style.
Man, does Jimmy Johnson still get sponsored by Lowe's?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
So he'll have that cool.
Yeah,
look.
he'll have a Lowe's cool blue Chevy. He'll have a really cool car. Him and Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott has Napa. They'll make his car look sharp. And that's NASCAR in a quick recap because we've already done it once.
This time was better.
Yeah, it was quick.
Moving on to golf, right, Kevin?
Yes.
Take it away.
Good segue.
Taking it away. There was things that happened this weekend, including this. I can only show a couple seconds. Yeah, so he hit the ball. It didn't go in the hole. He
Too
walks
good for your
away.
home?
He walks away. He waits the 10 seconds. And it drops.
I really wish he did a Happy Gilmore thing and just got down by it.
Go in your home. It's in the hole.
You're too good for your home.
We were gonna have our golf expert on to help talk, and he was actually starting to say some stuff, but
Tiger Woods was upset he didn't make the 50 greatest black athletes list, so he said he wasn't going to be on the podcast.
and then he pulled the mic, and Corey's deaf in one ear now, and that's where we were last. Stefan won this week. Dustin Johnson, even. My guy Rory came in at +1. Apparently he was hurt. That's what I could gather from what I was being told.
Something about his ribs.
Ribs hurt.
And
caddy change.
And Adam Scott was a +8, but he did announce that he was going to stop having sex before tournaments because he thought that's been hurting him. He gets all the ladies, apparently.
Usually does. you know, except actually, I had like my best round of golf ever. So who knows? What's next? I don't have the list. Phoning this one in now. I think it's fantasy baseball.
Yeah.
You can edit it.
You can edit. I'm
You
not
want to
gonna
talk about the FedEx Cup?
FedEx Cup. Oh,
No, let's talk about fantasy baseball and how last week went for Stefan.
Yeah, let's skip over that. Corey's list of 50 greatest athletes is up next.
wow, that was quick. Let's transition to fantasy baseball. And Stefan's team. Did you even like do anything with your team? Or
Let's
was it
talk
just,
about how
That's my second 10-0, by the way, of the year. Not bragging, but I am.
I had a lot of other stuff going on this week, fantasy football wise. I had a lot of stuff to do there, a lot of drama, and whatnot, and it just, fantasy baseball went on the old backside, and it showed.
And you got the old bagel.
It showed. Let's just put it out there, okay? When Sunday came around, I was only down 9-0, so.
Sure. You didn't have much to lose at that point. And
I
you still managed.
I then went on and I adjusted my roster, I thought, and apparently lost another point. So, got that going for me.
It was solid. Solid week.
I just realized I had us turned down, so they will hear something. Thumbs up to this podcast.
Might not even air this one. Just do a highlight reel.
It's gonna be like
Just do
31.5
highlight
next
reel.
week. All right. Well, now they can hear. Now it's killing their ears. Let's turn it down a little bit.
By the way, I'm up 16 on Kevin, who's in second place in fantasy baseball.
Yes.
Have I gained any ground?
No, you did not.
You're steady losing ground.
Steadily staying in last place.
I'm gonna be the Cinderella story of the
You're
playoffs.
Cinderella story.
You've been enjoying the slopes, and you have no reason to climb back up the mountain.
Nah.
At this point, you're just gonna be that underdog baseball team.
I'm down at the old ski lodge, just getting my drink
Mhm.
on. You guys are still hitting the slopes.
Yep.
I'm just chilling.
Just chilling, drinking your Becks. This podcast not sponsored by Becks.
But possibly sponsored by this crushable India Pale Ale.
What's next? They didn't see that, by the way.
I don't care. Next to the 50 greatest athletes.
So let's see.
Black athletes.
Let's release the top 10. Let's see the big news.
Big reveal.
Are we gonna have
that
to
nobody's seen yet.
hold Corey back?
Eh,
I think he's over it at this point.
I mean,
With a lot of things, including this podcast today. I didn't have it pulled up, so you guys are gonna have to fill in.
it's been so awful. Nothing can shock me at this point.
Let's just say Tiger Woods did not make the list at all. Didn't even get an honorable mention, which is...
So obviously they felt he had no inspiration or impact on society. Apparently.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of. Like, you think Kobe not making the top 50, but Tiger not even making the top 60?
Yeah.
That's insane.
He cheats on his wife, and that's like a death sentence for not being one of the greatest athletes.
I guess.
Even though he's the second most dominating golfer ever.
Yeah.
Fair to say.
I didn't really look at if there was any ones. You guys know if there was a one?
Yes.
There is? Alright. So it does exist?
Yeah, you can actually pull up the dominance, the impact on society, and the
The whole
inspiration list. They have them listed out how they did it. Stefan was right. They just took the 50 people and they graded those 50 athletes 1 through 50 at each thing.
Hmm.
That's what I figured.
I think Jordan had a 1. I think he was the most dominant.
So number 10, probably one of the most recognizable guys, Jerry Rice.
Yes.
Pretty high dominance, 7.
I mean, I think we guessed that he was
We
going to be
did.
in,
And I have no issue with Jerry Rice.
No.
especially at 10. That's
He was a
above.
role model for everybody. He played the game the right way, and on top of that, he was dominant, and he showed just hard work.
Yeah.
Paid off.
The next one, I think Corey's going to have an issue with
Yeah.
Gabby Douglas.
Okay. If you look at number 9 and look at number 8, and then look at the other 7 people. The other 7 are all legends. And then you have 2 newcomers in the top 10. That's part of my problem. They have no legacy yet. Let it breathe a little bit. Let people soak in what they accomplished.
But look at her inspiration as a 9, and her impact is a 6 somehow.
Yeah, to the thousands of morons that voted on this.
Unless, of course,
And-
you're one of our listeners, and then which you're not a moron,
No.
you're just uneducated
My other
because we
problem-
haven't had this list yet.
My other problem is Gabby Douglas did it first. So how is the person who broke the way and blazed the trail behind Simone Biles?
Because it's who's hot now. Which
That's-
name is hot now? That's why Steph Curry's in front of LeBron.
That's just I know, but I just don't
I
agree
know.
with that.
I
I'm just-
understand you don't agree with it, but I'm just saying
That's why. And then to be this
it's
high is just crazy to me. Crazy.
Crazy.
Gabby, I gave, when we reveal my list, more credit for impact on society and inspiration. Just because, like I said, for those reasons. I understand why people are all about Simone right now, because she's the hot name. But I don't even think they're top 10, either one of them. I mean, you got people like Jim Brown and Emmett Smith and Joe Louis. Names who are behind these girls. It's just crazy. That's what I mean. Let their legacies and stuff breathe a little bit before we're going to say they're in the top 10 greatest black athletes of all time.
Number 7.
Who's this guy? Hank Aaron. They pick like the most unrecognizable photo of Hank Aaron for this list.
Arguably the most dominant baseball
Player
player.
ever. I think a lot of people think he's the greatest player.
I
I mean,
mean-
him or Babe Ruth is often the argument. The other argument would be Willie Mays, which we'll get into a little later.
7, 5, and 3.
25 All-Star games.
What about Barry
25.
Bonds with his Astros? How come Barry Bonds didn't make the list?
I don't know.
Because his asterisks.
He was my childhood idol growing up. I know what happened, but that's to negate 15 years or so of his career that he had no steroid allegations. So I would just say that's crazy.
I bet you don't know if he had it in those other years.
Well, if you look at 06, he's really skinny, and then they show him in 07 in training camp, and he's diesel, so something happened in the offseason.
Just ate his Twinkies. That's all.
Cultivated that mass.
Got to start somewhere. I mean, all right. Let's look at number 6.
No problem with her being in the top 10. I think you can make an argument, honestly, that she's number 1, but I'll save that for later, too. Anyone else?
I would argue that she could be higher.
Number 5.
This is who in the beginning we all thought had a chance to even be number 1. No shocker to me that he's number 5.
I mean, he basically flipped off Adolf Hitler.
The impact on society and the inspiration, I think, should be really high, and they were. They have his dominance a little higher than I would rank it, which got him into the top 5. But I still have no issues with this.
Number 4, Willie Mays.
Willie Mays, probably the most well-rounded player ever. If you're looking for someone who could use the bat and the glove equally. But I still think Hank Aaron was better, so I kind of have a problem with him being higher.
I feel like this is going to be your problem one.
Number 3.
Number 3.
This isn't really my problem because the next one's my problem. Why? I mean,
I'm surprised Muhammad Ali came in at 3. I mean, think about it. All the clips, all the athletes seem to be inspired by Muhammad Ali, and then you have him at 3.
Well, that's why. Well, we'll get to my list, but he's the only athlete ever in his prime of dominance to say, I'm going to step away from what I'm best at for what I believe in, and take 3 years of my prime away from me, because I'd rather stand up for myself, stand up for what's right. I just think that's like, who else has done that? Who would ever do that? Like, if you told LeBron James, okay, from 27 years old to 30, you can't play. You got to go do black rights activist type stuff. He would never do that. He would never give that money away. Nobody would ever do that. Sacrifice, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. No one sacrifices nowadays. They're all about the paycheck. He's the only athlete on this list at the higher end to sacrifice like he did.
But I could easily argue that number 2 sacrificed a lot.
Well, I wasn't going to argue that. I was going to argue somebody that wasn't on the list.
All right, go ahead. Your argument first. That way I can argue into our
Arguably, I don't know if he intended it to go this route, but Colin Kaepernick is giving up his career basically now, because now he's being blackballed out of the league.
But my point is the stature of, like, yeah, it's Colin Kaepernick, but it's not Tom Brady.
Right. I know.
You
what
know,
you're saying.
so it's just like
you're
the
not
level.
one of the best. Colin Kaepernick wasn't one of the best.
Right. So I think it means less.
But
Yeah,
he
he's
was-
giving up money and stuff. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But he's not like giving up the money. I mean, obviously they don't make as much money back then, but he's not giving up the kind of money that Muhammad Ali was making for.
I'm not. I was just throwing that out there. I mean, Colin Kaepernick. I don't think that was his intent. I don't think he intended that he was going to be out of the league.
Right.
By standing up for what he believed in, where Muhammad Ali knew
He didn't care.
Yeah.
That's just. I just think that's. Admirable.
He didn't come out with the Kaepernick statement where, "Oh, I won't kneel anymore." He actually stood up for what he believed in. He didn't backpedal like Kaepernick
He
did.
said he didn't agree with America and what they were doing in the Vietnam War, and he bailed on the war. I mean, I don't know really what else to say. That's standing up for yourself 100% of the way. Whether you think it was right or not, because there's a lot of patriotic people that say Muhammad Ali's a scumbag for doing that. But
I think Muhammad Ali should have been 1 or 2, in my opinion. I assumed that the number 1 was going to be number 1.
I just think the next person that we're about to see could just be flipped. That's my only argument.
All right.
So I moved him down 1.
So let's go to number 2.
On this list. On my list.
Number 2, Jackie Robinson. Arguably, I mean,
inspiration and impact, he got 1s.
Yeah, for good reasons. I mean, without him, there's someone else probably paving the way for black athletes, but he was the first.
Yeah, he did.
And he was the one that, I mean, I'm surprised he's not number 1.
Okay, my only problem with that, though, because these are the 3 criterias.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1-1, that's fine. His dominance could arguably be even lower than that.
Yeah, but how much was that just because he was that first black athlete and he had everyone out for him? They were sliding in with spikes out, and he had a face like...
I'm just saying, like, really you could have, okay, if he's 1-1, you could have Muhammad Ali 2-2, but then Muhammad Ali's dominance is much, much higher.
Yeah. Muhammad
Ali is the only boxer in history where you can look at their record and say he didn't dodge anybody. He literally fought every single person that everyone said you should fight. He's the only boxer to do that.
But with no Jackie Robinson, there's no Muhammad Ali. That's how I look at it, is because he was the first. So who knows Muhammad Ali?
Well, that's why I
10
don't.
years
But
later.
that's why I don't have a problem with the 1s.
Yeah,
I'm just
I know.
saying the dominance would move on my list.
And I think that's why he's number 2.
Now we're getting nitpicky because I really don't have a problem with these top 3 people.
Because I mean, the number 1 guy we've mentioned all the time. I mean,
do we?
Yeah,
we talk about this guy.
We like this guy.
Michael Jordan. Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
Dominance number 1. There was
1-4-4.
Does anybody have a problem with it?
This is who I thought was going to be number 1.
That is who you picked. I picked Ali, and did you pick Jackie?
I think I did.
So we were all in the realm.
Yeah. I mean, we picked the top 3.
Yeah.
Right. Next time they come out with a list like this, we'll just use our top ones to make the top 3.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, just basing on how everybody feels about Michael Jordan, I mean, everybody thinks he's the greatest player of all time, and I mean, he still has an impact going into today. Like, he's not even playing anymore, and people are still talking about Jordan.
He's the only old timer I hear like, oh, is LeBron better than this player? Like
Right.
from the past, they
Yeah.
only mention Michael. It's not like, oh, is LeBron better than Magic? Everyone thinks he already is.
Right.
Everyone's like, is he better than Jordan?
Right.
So I mean, Jordan's kind of the benchmark for
Yeah.
the best.
And I think just like business wise, also like
He paved the. I think so.
Yeah, I think he paved the way for a lot of black
I feel like
business owners.
not that you guys. Well, maybe you guys are rap aficionados and I just don't know it, but
Word.
to make the comparison is like Jay-Z isn't necessarily the best rapper, but he paved the way for business,
Right.
and he showed all the newcomers like how to make yourself
To build an empire.
build an empire and a franchise, and that's why he's widely considered the greatest rapper, even though he may not be.
Right.
I feel like Michael Jordan's similar. Obviously, he's super talented, but since he paved the way for business and turning yourself into a brand, he literally
Right.
has a sneaker where people don't say Nikes; they
Yeah.
say, "Do you guys have Jordans?"
Yeah.
No other player has a sneaker
No.
like that.
You hear LeBron's and Kobe's, but
But everyone just knows they're like associated.
everyone knows the Jumpman
Yeah.
logo.
So
Yeah, and he's the only one that is it's literally just the Jordan. Like,
Yeah.
it's Jordans. It's not the Nike LeBron or
yeah,
whatever.
it's
like,
just Jordan.
You don't see Kobe sponsoring a school. Like, there's Jordan on Michigan, there's Jordan on North Carolina. Like,
That would be my only knock to Jordan.
and that's the weird thing to me is it's part of Nike. So,
Yeah, it
Yes,
is.
that's what I mean.
it's like,
But it's not. But at the same time, it's like, nah. It's
Yeah.
like, it's separate than Nike. It is weird.
My only knock to Jordan would be because he was so business minded and all about his money. When there was social issues that arose, he chose to stay silent and not hurt his sponsorships or hurt his wallet. And that's why I think there's some people on the list that should be higher than him. He didn't get docked for that, but I personally would dock him for that.
makes sense.
And I think you see the new athletes the same way because they follow the Jordan, like the path he paved. Just keep your mouth shut. Don't say too much. Like when who was it? Chris Paul, Dwayne Wade, LeBron, right, and Carmelo. Was it those four that stood up at the ESPYs and like kind of gave their little speech? I don't know if Carmelo did. I think it was Wade, Paul, and
Speech
LeBron.
on what?
Like on the social injustices going on with the cops. But everyone said, yeah, it was an okay speech, but they kind of didn't take one side or the other. So they were good at being very neutral and not hurting themselves. And I feel like if we had Muhammad Ali today, he'd be screaming, fuck the police, while these other people are keeping their mouth shut. That's the difference.
Like Kobe Bryant.
And I think Michael Jordan kept his mouth shut. So that's...
Well, that was probably...
When we get to my list, you have it up.
I'm wondering if that's more of it based on, like, his off-the-court activities with gambling and whatnot. Like, he's not exactly the greatest role model if you look at his off-the-court stuff.
That's some other...
But people seem to always, like, brush it underneath and, like, forget about it because he's the greatest
His greatness. Yeah, his greatness. And that's what knocks Muhammad Ali, because I told you guys before, in my opinion, Ray Robinson's the greatest boxer ever. So Muhammad Ali doesn't really have an argument for that, but Jordan does for his sport.
All right, so let's go into Corey's list. Gonna start from 50. You got Dominic Wilkins.
Yeah, the human highlight reel. First person to kind of make the dunk contest what it was. Then along came Jordan.
Randy Moss.
Yeah. What's wrong with Randy?
What has he done?
Been probably the third greatest receiver ever.
Was he even on the top 50?
He was in the top 60, but I thought he deserved. If you saw some of the people that were cut, I guess I should have put the 10 out, but I didn't.
Tim Duncan is 48.
Yeah, I moved him up too. After really, when it first came out, I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'd put Duncan in the top 50, but after seeing what was out there and his accomplishments, how they really do stack up, he's well deserved. Florence Griffith Joyner, I don't know too much about her, so I had to look on their page and kind of see what she had accomplished. Same with Wilma Rudolph.
Should have put like in parentheses where they were.
Yeah, I mean they definitely dropped really far, both
Right.
of them. David Robinson is around the same. Joe Frazier is around the same. Same with Reggie Jackson. Same with Larry Fitzgerald. I think I actually even lowered Ray Robinson after paying attention, but here would be one that really fell. Simone
Biggest.
Biles. because I just don't see it. Someone paved the way for her, like you mentioned with Jackie paving the way.
Mm-hmm.
So how can I rate her that high?
Right. Just because she's on like Dancing with the Stars and and all those fun shows.
Ernie Banks, nothing, and Gabby Douglas, who did pave the way. I just don't. There's so many more 37 and up, to me, are all more dominant athletes than her. Carl Lewis, he was the first track person, and we don't have to go over these all one by one.
Yeah, why not?
Ken Griffey Jr. I put on there. He's got the famous swing. He has this, like the jump man. He has the swing man shoe for baseball. He kind of paved that way. He's also clean. No steroid allegations. Everything he did is legit.
Because he fell apart at the end of his career.
George Ford, yeah, if he didn't, though, imagine how great his stats could have been. Like,
Yeah.
He could have been one of the greatest, if not the greatest. He was on pace to be. George Foreman, he was a good fighter, plus his grills, impact on society, all that. I had to give him that.
Probably higher for the girls, in my opinion.
Well, that's why he's in the 30s. I didn't have to put him that. Steph Curry, I gave much
Dropped
lower.
him.
Yes. He didn't deserve to be 27. I dropped him to 34.
Where's LeBron? LeBron should be lower.
Get out of here. LeBron's where he should be. Barry Sanders was much lower than where I put him. I don't think people realize how dominant Barry Sanders was. Arthur Ashe, without him, again, no Serena, no Venus. He paved the way. Bill Russell, how do you say he's not one of the most dominant? He had 11 rings. I think you got to give credit to that. Then you have Gail Sayers. That isn't so much his dominance. If you looked at all the things he did for his social work with the community, he
Now,
deserved to be
I
up
just
there.
have a question about, would you say Barry Sanders had not retired as early as he did and continued dominating? Would he have been higher than like Emmitt Smith, Bo Jackson?
Yeah, because he's
Well, he's
the
basically
era I
penalized by the fact that he didn't
and being on Detroit.
go as far as he did, as most players go.
It's
That-
like being cursed to Cleveland. Like,
Yeah, that era of football is when I first started watching. So to me, I don't know, I'm just like all the other old timers who say, "Oh, Magic and Michael were the best" because they remember them. I remember Emmett and Barry,
I consider Barry the greatest
and I remember
quarterback.
Barry being the greatest back I've ever seen.
I think
There's nothing I've ever seen like it. The closest thing to his style, I'm not saying he's as good, by no means, is LaShawn McCoy.
yeah,
The way he runs backwards and turns nothing into something.
right.
Barry Sanders was way better at it, though, so I'm not saying LaShawn McCoy is Barry Sanders.
So fuck you, Gary.
Yeah.
I think it's more or less like that back and forth scene you see all the highlights of like the old Barry Sanders,
Yeah.
like that one move where he juked one guy, juked another, and then ran forward.
What's really underrated too is he was 5'8", but he would often be the second or third best bench on his team. So he is super strong up top. And if you see some of those highlights,
His
even with
thighs
his
are huge.
even with the jukes, he'd get touched on the pads and just run through it like nothing.
Yeah.
He's like the freak athlete that just didn't pan out.
I wish that he had finished. Actually gone through a full career.
So that's why I have Barry that high. Like I said, I have Emmitt
Smith
Smith
higher.
higher just because I think Emmitt Smith is the second greatest ever. He has all the records to say he is the greatest.
Right.
But I will get into that later. He didn't. There's someone who played less games that put up similar stats. So.
I'm the greatest.
Bo Jackson, freak athlete. I'm just going a little bit in the middle, go over the people. Michael Johnson was like that athlete, that track star that I first remember.
Yeah.
That was just superstar. The gold
Yeah.
shoes, everything, impact on society. He was like the first flashy, like track guy that showed the swag and
Yeah.
like the arrogance. So I gave him credit for that because he kind of, again, without him, we wouldn't see Usain Bolt doing some of the things, being flashy that he does.
Who pulled up in his last race,
Yeah.
by the way.
He didn't win it.
Who else? Wilt Chamberlain. I can debate all day about him. I know people don't have the same feelings.
I don't.
Satchel Paige. A lot of his stuff wasn't professional. He was in the Negro League, and then when he became professional in his 40s, we saw he still was able to dominate. So I'm just curious how great he was. I don't know much about him. Julius Erving, we talked about the dunk.
Mm-hmm.
Then Kobe Bryant, yes, number 22 from off the list.
Big jump up.
Because, in my opinion, he's the second best shooting guard to ever live. I just think his greatness puts him there. His social stuff, he didn't do too much.
I feel like nowadays he's doing pretty good.
I feel like he's working on his character and how people view him. He's starting his own.
He does like some like TV program where he like reads to kids or something like that.
And I was gonna say he's starting his own film like school, and he's doing his own. He's gonna start doing his own movies and have his own production company. So hopefully that stuff will put him in a more positive light. I think he's gonna be one. Like 10 years from now, people are gonna miss Kobe.
Yeah.
And realize how great he is.
Unless Ball turns out to be a stud.
Yeah.
Then they're like, Kobe who?
Jackie Joyner Kersey, I thought she was like the first female track star, like Michael Johnson. She showed the flash, and she was great. Venus Williams, she was the first African-American tennis player that really dominated. Obviously, she was followed by her younger sister, who was a little more successful. Shaquille O'Neal, the argument is still who's more dominant, Will or Shaq, but I gave Shaq credit because I thought he had a tougher era to dominate. I'll give you that. You argue that all the time.
He was just more dominant.
Roberto Clemente, I moved from the 40s all the way up because I don't think people realize all the social stuff that he did for his community. And on top of that, even looking more into his stats and his career, if he had lived longer, like, not that Barry Sanders isn't alive, but
Right.
Roberto's career was cut short, so he doesn't have as much. Walter Payton.
Sorry, I'm just looking around. I'm mesmerized by the studio. That's all.
Walter Payton, they have an award for everything he did great. Derek Jeter was in the 40s. I have him number 16. I mean, you mentioned that. He's the captain.
Yeah.
Who's a better...
Number 2. Derek Jeter.
Who's a better person to idolize than him?
He stated he was never in trouble.
He gave his mistresses gift baskets, allegedly, because, no one talks.
He makes them sign a waiver.
I mean, I would have slept with him probably.
Like,
just for the
I
gift
think,
basket.
I think there was like
Just
a
for the gift
robe. There was a bunch of stuff in that gift basket. I mean, who wouldn't want a free robe?
Number 15, LeBron James. You guys might know him. Number 14, Willie Mays. I dropped 10 spots. I put him behind Magic Johnson. I dropped Jerry Rice just 2 spots. I thought Pele deserved a more honorable mention.
Pele.
He's kind of
big still.
I mean, soccer. You can speak a little.
He takes, in order to get a picture with the guy, it's like $100. If you want a picture, you go up to the street. It'll be like $100 because he knows you can get it because everyone wants it.
He's just a cheap bastard.
No, he's smart.
Isn't he the face? I mean, a lot of people. He's like, I think like the
greatest
god.
soccer player.
Yeah, soccer.
Pretty much.
So how could you not put him up higher than he was in
Except
the 20s?
for maybe Messi.
Well, nowadays, I was actually talking to my dad about that before I came over. It was like, you got Ronaldo and Messi, but before that, you have
What about the original Ronaldo? I think he's
Pele.
better.
Yeah, you've got Pele, and I mean, there was a reason why he was selling out stadiums in the U.S. back in the '70s when no one cared about soccer.
Right.
Hundreds of thousand seat stadiums. So I mean, obviously he was decent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like, I don't know, a tennis match selling out Dallas Cowboy Stadium type greatness. Like, you'd see that with the Williams sisters and not much else.
No, he's like the one soccer player that, like, even when I never followed soccer at all, like, everybody knows who
Look
he
at me,
is.
I'm Pele. Like,
Yeah.
Everybody knows who he is.
like no one has that notoriety, I guess, nowadays.
Like, I don't even know if I've actually ever even seen a clip of him playing, but I know who he is.
Yeah.
Like, I just, like...
I think a lot of people just know the name and couldn't even pick him out in a lineup.
Right. I honestly couldn't.
He's got a
If
little
you
bit
put
of
a bunch
fro.
of people, I would have no idea who he is.
Just look for a little bit of a fro.
Well, if they put 10 people with froze.
Oh, then you're screwed.
Yeah, exactly.
I said a little bit. Light fro. Hip, hip, Pele.
Yeah, I would have no idea who that is.
I mean, so. All right, moving on.
Okay, now we're into my top 10. So Pele just missed the cut.
Just.
I thought he kind of got screwed on the list. I don't think people really obviously it was younger people, I think, voting on this.
Yeah.
I don't think they knew who Pele was. Just like they don't know who number 10 is.
I don't.
Joe Louis. has the most title defenses ever. He was the first.
I don't see John Jones on this list, by the way.
He was the no, you don't.
Rampage
I used their
Jackson.
No Anderson Silva.
I used their 60. If I put my own in, there'd be some others that weren't. Joe Louis was the first person to kind of be called an Uncle Tom by the black community. They weren't so thrilled with him because he kind of played by the rules. He did what they said. He was all about like we said with Michael Jordan, he was all about the sponsorships and getting the money. Kind of paved the way for that.
Oh, breaking. Oh, well, since this isn't live, 28-hour fantasy football starts on ESPN.
I was going to bring that up when we started talking about football.
Okay.
But, yeah.
I'll quick get through it. Jim Brown, I think he's the greatest running back ever, and he played in less games than Emmett. He played 12-game seasons, 14-game seasons, and he has crazy, ridiculous numbers. And behind Muhammad Ali, he's probably the greatest black activist on the whole list. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was right there with the two of them, Muhammad Ali and Jim Brown. All three of them kind of hung out and paved the way. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar also is the all-time leading point scorer in basketball. Hank Aaron, I think, is the greatest baseball player. He was also clean cut. He never did anything wrong. Like you said with Derek Jeter, he was a good idol. Usain Bolt, I just didn't get how he was like number 15. I moved him all the way up. His dominance, he's the fastest man ever. Dominated for how
Except
many
for his
years?
last race.
Yeah, but everyone gets old eventually.
I don't see Carl Lewis. Where was he?
Take
37.
that, Carl Lewis!
I mean, you wouldn't put Carl Lewis or Michael Johnson in front of him because, I mean, they paved the way for... I mean, name a black runner other than Jesse Owens. Before.
Besides those two?
Yeah.
I can't. Just Usain. Yeah. But I give Usain's dominance was much more than theirs.
I guess. Plus, Carl Lewis.
Over a longer
steroids.
span, I give longevity.
Steroids tends to go along with Carl Lewis's name, so I guess...
Jesse Owens, I left right where he was. Good spot for him. Jackie Robinson, I moved down to 4. Serena Williams, I put up at 3. She's the greatest tennis player to ever live.
Not a fan, Kevin.
No, I don't agree with that. I think Jackie Robinson's above her because without him, there's no...
But
none of these
without him,
athletes.
there's none of the list, so you think he's number 1.
Not even necessarily number 1, but at least top 3.
I see where you're going. There's more dominance in your eyes.
You're looking at dominance as just the solo. I'm looking at the whole...
No, he's not looking at it as a solo thing. I mean...
But you're...
I weigh
you're
it heavier than the other two.
Yeah.
And I do too. I agree. I consider...
Because when I think of...
If you're looking at greatest athletes...
That's why.
That's what the list is. 50 greatest athletes. Black athletes. But they're throwing in the whole, inspiration and social impact or whatever. And yeah, I get that part, but what does the athlete part come down to? Are you dominating at your sport?
He wasn't bad.
I'm not saying he was bad.
No, I mean, he's in the top 5 on my list, too. I
That's
mean,
fair.
We disagree, but Serena's dominant.
We're allowed to
None of us are ever going to agree.
We're never going to agree. If you guys did your own list, I'm sure it would be different. I don't think we're all going to have the same list.
Fine. I'll take it.
So, in my opinion, Serena's the greatest tennis player, male or female. She's also the greatest business person ever in tennis. She's shown not just the women, but the men how to do it. She even takes years off to go focus on her businesses, which she did way back when, and then comes back and just wins majors right away.
Does she do that again with Child?
Yeah. Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
You don't
I think she's
time's catching up with her?
No, I think she's going to prove that she's really that amazing.
So she is coming back, though?
Yes,
Okay.
she is. Okay. Then I think 1 and 2 are interchangeable. This is kind of preference.
Yeah, that's wrong, though.
You prefer Muhammad Ali over Michael Jordan?
He's a boxing
I thought you
guy.
were on my team.
He's a boxing guy, though.
I thought you were getting the Jordan t-shirt.
The Jordan t-shirt?
Yeah.
What's the Jordan t-shirt?
We already looked this up earlier in one of the podcasts before.
Apparently you guys aren't on the same page anymore.
Disappointed in him. I'm fine with Muhammad Ali as number 1. I actually thought he was going to be number 1 over Michael Jordan. I was surprised Michael Jordan came in at number 1.
The only thing that's a little odd about me not having Michael Jordan is I did weigh the dominance thing a little bit heavier. So for me to have Muhammad Ali over Michael Jordan kind of goes against that.
I mean, Michael Jordan...
Because Michael Jordan was more dominant at his sport than Muhammad Ali was at his.
He sat there and said, I'm going to try out baseball.
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't work out, and then came back and won 3 more.
Yeah. The only thing is, I just think Jackie Robinson is the only one I think that's comparable to what Muhammad Ali did as far as, right? So I did weigh what he did heavy, and I gave him the lead over Michael Jordan. But I think they're interchangeable. I have no argument with somebody.
So you weighed Muhammad Ali's
That's-
heavy.
that's why
You
I'm
didn't
saying-
weigh Jackie
That's why I'm
Robinson's
saying I'm
heavy.
being kind of hypocritical in that.
This is Corey's list, not We Might
Right.
Know Sports.
I just
Yeah, this is not sponsored by We Might Know Sports.
I just thought he made the greatest sacrifice of everybody on the list, and he was great.
The opinions of Corey are not.
Reflected on Kevin and Stefan.
They'd have Jackie and Michael Jordan. That's it.
Michael Jordan won. I don't know if I put Jackie at number 2, but he'd have Jackie at 1 or 2.
Anyways,
So basically, Corey's list wasn't really any better than the first list.
basically my list was just what it should be.
What a shit. I don't know about all that.
All right. What are we talking about
Premier
next?
League.
Premier League. Oh, things happened.
Things happened.
I closed out that window I needed.
First week of Premier League,
You
right?
seem done with the podcast at this point.
What?
You seem done with this podcast today.
You're done with it?
No, you are.
Oh,
You seem checked out.
disappointed. Thought I could do
You
it.
can edit all this out. So
Yeah,
that's why
I
I'm
know.
saying it.
Whatever. No, leave it in. It's more fun. So the consumer sees my disappointment in this episode. We have the Premier League. I gave you guys Man U versus West Ham. No, that's not. Man U versus who did they face?
Let me just pick Man U.
Yeah, West Ham. I hit it right. Whoa,
Yeah.
I got it
No,
myself.
Man City is the next one you're picking.
Yeah, my bad. Man U.
See, he checked out.
Yeah, totally checked out. Man U won 4-0. You guys, Corey picked 3-1. Stefan picked 2-1. I picked a draw. So
I picked 2-0 actually.
checked out. Anyway, draw was my pick, so I'm already losing in the Premier standings seat, and I'm 2 beers deep. Probably doesn't help. It's pretty hot up here. I don't know how you guys live.
You need a third one.
All right, and yeah, definitely need a third one. Why didn't I pick one up today? So week 2, we're gonna pick Man City versus Everton. That game is playing on Monday, next Monday, right before the podcast. So it'll be fresh.
It'll be final before the podcast.
Yeah, it'll be fresh and crisp.
Is that
Nice.
podcast going to be better than this one?
Definitely.
Slightly better.
This is my favorite one because my list.
Your list.
I think your list is awful.
You loved my list.
I'll cut you a
You
copy.
agreed with like everything.
I would have agreed
Except like
with
the
it.
top 3.
I would have agreed with it if you put Jordan back in number 1.
Alright, I'll
Then,
switch.
then I would have liked your list.
Okay.
Corey's all
So
about
basically my list was
everyone
amazing except the first 2.
All right, so who are we picking? And
Corey will do anything to make people like him.
I don't have to do anything. That's the trick.
Corey, you're up first.
Everton.
Ooh, interesting.
1-0.
Where's this at?
Hey, did you know
You know,
Everton picked up Wayne Rooney?
Yeah.
In this offseason? Scored a goal already.
did he?
What was your score?
1.
How old is he? Like 40?
Old enough for Man U to not care about losing him. I'm going to pick Man City 2-0. 2-1, excuse me. Now, for those not knowing, I made Stefan pick a team in the Premier League, and he picked Everton. Because at the time, Tim Howard was on the team.
It's not there anymore.
No, he's actually with Colorado in the MLS, which we'll
But
talk
they got
about
that
next.
Lukaku, right?
No, actually, he went to Man.
God damn it.
So he has nothing.
Who got picked up by? Oh, Wayne Rooney. You got Wayne Rooney.
My favorite team is Arsenal. Are we not talking about them?
We can talk about.
I'll take the draw this week.
Up to
1-1.
1-1.
Just like the name. And the colors.
Did you know their nickname is the Gunners?
Why wouldn't it be? They're in Arsenal.
Ooh.
No.
Arsenal?
Yeah.
Yeah, pick a great team or nothing.
What's wrong with Arsenal?
They're a good team. What do you mean?
So?
Arsenal won
It's
4.
like
Why
me-
would I pick a shit
That's
team?
like me picking Man City or me picking Man U. Or
He's throwing down the gauntlet.
Please, just jump on a bandwagon, why don't you?
To be fair, Arsenal hasn't won in a while.
Yeah, but they're a good team.
They're decent. Tottenham's a good team.
Yeah, but they weren't good when you
Yeah, that's true.
when you were following them.
When I first started,
You're not allowed to like the
Ars-
red and the white.
Go ahead.
Arsenal won 4-3 versus Leicester, who won the Premier League 2 years ago.
Ryan, I agree that you should get Adrian Peterson in the later rounds. I don't know why you aren't making a bigger stink about it.
Tottenham's not even gonna watch this, so you can say whatever you want. Guarantee. He doesn't
Tottenham,
watch
my
it.
team won 2-0, and your team won 1-0. So you're doing good. We're all on
Who'd
even.
they beat? Who'd Everton beat? Sorry, if you don't know, don't worry about it.
Stoke City. So decent quality. Basically, the goal is not to get relegated at that point. I think Everton. I think I had Everton as my like 6th team. They might make the
They
Euro
finished
League.
like 7th last
They
year. or
usually
something.
finish up there, so they're not a bad team. I don't know why you're hating on them. They're not exactly the greatest right now, so
Yeah, but
just because they used to win.
He's just mad I picked a team. I
Yeah.
could have picked anybody.
Yeah.
He would have said
they
it
should
was
have
garbage.
picked like Queens Park Rangers.
Queens. They're not even in the Premier League anymore.
They were a couple of years ago.
Here's a brief look at this week's schedule. Good game to watch, other than the one we picked, is the Spurs-Chelsea game. Mainly because they're rivals, and it's always interesting.
And Tim Duncan's playing for them again.
Not that Spurs.
Oh.
Wrong sport.
Yeah, switch sports. Now he's been with these.
No, he does MMA now. Haven't you seen
Oh.
the video?
No.
Oh, really?
Oh? What?
Yeah, Tim Duncan does MMA now.
Oh, that's cool.
That's why he's in the top 50 greatest athletes ever.
I'd like to see that. Him versus John Jones. That'd be interesting.
We'll show the video at some point.
Some
Let's
point.
get back to Premier League. I'm into this.
Yeah.
Actually, we're going to MLS next.
Okay, I'm not into that.
They should be more into that.
Why?
It's American.
Top 10 for, or actually top 11 teams
How's your game? Yeah, how
for MLS. We'll get there in a
All
second.
right, go ahead.
Why is your phone blowing up? We're not even on air.
Speaking about band, your team is, and they're your team.
I do know. who my
You don't
team is.
know how your team's doing?
Are they winning?
Let's look at the scoreboard first.
I haven't checked that.
The Sounders.
that's not good.
Toronto.
Sounders beat then first place Sporting KC 1-0. Portland lost 4-1. Where is the Galaxy?
They lost 2-0
2-0 to New York
You guys are doing solid.
FC.
LA sucks this year.
And then on Sundays, Real Salt Lake. Is that how you say it? Real?
Why
Yeah.
can't it just be real?
I don't know. Why can't they just come up with a fucking American name? Is my question.
Because Real,
Mm-hmm.
the company,
So here's the look at the
Lockdown.
standings. No, that's
Yeah.
not how that works.
that's how it works.
And
Don't know,
then
now you know.
the Western Conference,
Why the hell Seattle get way up there?
because they beat the number 1 first place
I
team,
don't give a fuck who they beat.
and your team
It's more about
lost. So
who they
they
didn't.
were all. It was
Well,
actually
they were all like tied.
it was all tied in the tops. Like 2 through 6 were separated by 3 points. So
Jesus.
they just went whoop.
All right.
So
We'll be back up there. How many games we got left?
you're pretty much looking at the way the playoffs is going to be.
No, we're not.
Not the way they're going to be, but there's very little
The top
movement
6,
probably
you mean?
going to be happening.
There's only
in the
22
six.
teams in MLS
Yeah, for now, till next year.
until more people.
They're always
drop
adding
out.
more teams.
They're adding like 2 teams a year lately.
But that team's go bankrupt.
Well, they haven't lost a
There's
team in a
more
while.
money in soccer.
Actually, there's a lot of money in certain cities like Seattle. Anyway, what are we up to next? Oh, let's talk about the scoreboard for games to watch.
Games to watch.
I mean, you can watch Portland lose to the Red Bulls on Friday.
No interest in
Beat the
that.
Red Bulls. We're gonna kill the Red Bulls.
And then Saturday,
Toronto, Chicago. That's a good game.
Not a single good game.
other than Toronto, Chicago.
It's a good game. I'm not bullshitting.
And then Sunday,
You don't know that I know soccer. Oh,
Oh,
shit.
no.
Just on you.
You don't know
there's nothing
soccer.
really exciting. Seattle beat Minnesota 5-0 last time
So
in
it
Minnesota,
should be a good
so that one's probably going to be a blowout as well. That's why Seattle's all of a sudden jumped to the first place. They're
They
playing
have
all the
that
bottom
easy
teams.
part of the schedule.
Yeah, they got that
It's really nice.
right at the good time. All right.
Where's the LA? Where's Galaxy? Who are they playing?
Yeah.
We're giving Beckham a break.
Beckham doesn't play anymore.
No.
You can't bend it like Bendham. Beckham.
Bendham?
Bendham.
Bender? Futurama?
I don't know why.
They have some Spanish.
I don't
comments
understand
or
why the Galaxy aren't playing. They're 2 behind Portland in games played. So
Maybe they're just giving up on
Yeah,
the season.
they've given up.
I'm wondering if they're playing in the U.S. Open Cup.
They're
Maybe.
just waiting for the next Pele.
Hey,
Trying to get that top draft pick.
what do we got? Football next.
A little preseason NFL football action.
Yeah. Will you watch any of it?
I've got like a few.
Literally watched nothing.
I watched a little bit.
Watched a little bit.
I watched a little bit of the Carolina game. Watched the end, so it was nothing exciting.
I watched a lot of the Eagles Snapchat videos of training camp.
I watched the Bills game for some reason. I don't know why.
Bills versus Eagles this week.
Yeah. Do you know who's not on the Bills anymore? Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins.
Do you know who's not on the Eagles anymore? Jordan Matthews, but he is on the Bills. But he's not playing because he broke his spine.
Seems like a good trade for him.
Trade away one injury-prone receiver for another injury-prone receiver.
Solid move, Buffalo.
I think
Keep it going. Got all those draft picks though, so you're in
So
solid
trust
shape.
the process.
Trust
right,
the
Gary?
process.
I'm taking Adrian Peterson in our draft if he's available in the first round. Seems like a solid move.
He's gonna dominate behind that shit ass New Orleans offensive line.
Sounds like a terrible move.
Terrible. Terrible.
Terrible.
Hard Knocks started. I've never watched a Hard Knocks episode
Really?
until
I
this
love
year.
Hard Knocks.
So, you guys want my take on it?
You don't like it?
No, actually, it's pretty cool.
I think it is.
I watched a few
Although-
episodes.
I must say, you can tell that it's a little dated, the program itself, because they haven't updated probably the main song for like ever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's got like that ancient HBO sound to it. It's got like all these new players behind it. And I'm like, we just go back in time? Like,
I like that it. I haven't seen the first episode or first 2 episodes, but I like that the last few seasons, it follows the names that you know,
Mhm.
but then it also follows like the rookies trying to make the team. Is
Yeah.
it still doing that?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I always love that part because it lets you in on the rookies and you kind of get a glimpse at if there might be like a potential steal in a fantasy draft or
Right.
something. I always like that. That's how I found out about DeAndre Hopkins back when they did the Texans, and I was all about him, and he actually has been successful.
So this first episode, mainly focuses on Almost Jameis, or Jameis Winston for those that don't know his fantasy team name, and probably my fantasy team name, because, you know, I like to copy people.
Better keep him.
Oh, I'm keeping him. 5th round.
Oh, is that for sure?
Is that,
Can I
that's
lock
the
it in?
announcement?
Can I lock it in or what?
That's the announcement.
we
Lock
get
it
an
in.
official declaration right now?
No, because then people
Oh,
are
you're
gonna
a fucking
strategize.
pussy.
No one's gonna stretch.
You're a
this.
pussy.
All right, I'll lock it in. Jameis Winston.
Everybody's gonna know by Friday. That's your deadline.
I told
anyway.
Matt the 2 you're keeping anyways. 'cause
Yeah,
that's
so
pretty
did
shit.
I.
Jameis Winston, lock.
Lock.
Locked it.
Plugging it in right now.
Plug it in.
Dude, that's
Uh,
super solid. You aren't gonna get any better at
Yeah,
fifth
no.
round.
you're not. 'Cause he was one of the.
I took him
Yeah.
in. I took him in the 5th
There-
round.
Matt was talking about
Sorry
taking him in
to
the
keep
first round.
Yeah,
so,
so
I
was
mean,
I. I was thinking
okay.
about taking him in the
So
first
that was a
round.
good one.
So-
Yeah.
So long, Drew Brees. It was nice knowing you.
Mhm.
But
He's 38. It's time to let it go. You can
Yeah.
have Jameis for the next 7-8 years.
at the 5th round.
At the 5th round, yeah.
I think you're okay.
Me, I can have Tom Brady for the next, 1 year at the 2nd round.
If I'm able to pick up Mike Evans, who it also covers, along with
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson was
O.J.
another.
Howard.
He's got a nice house, mind you.
Did you
They
go in it?
They showed it.
Go, baby.
They showed it. Yeah, I went into it on Hard Knocks.
Oh, okay. They all have nice houses.
Um,
Until
they
see
showed-
Floyd's house.
they showed who got cut first. That was kind of sad. And then they showed the next 2 cuts,
Mhm.
which was even sadder because it was like, it's not you. It's just I have to get rid of 2 people. And
I know.
You're on the bottom.
You
It's
always
kinda
see why the head
heartbreaking.
coach actually gets paid
Yeah.
because that's probably the
They
shittiest part.
They showed a brief clip because the Bucks have like a touch screen and he's like messing with the roster with the touch screen and he's like they showed a bunch. They didn't show the actual names, but they
Mhm.
just show him moving players around. So it was cool to see that. They showed a rookie linebacker that they drafted.
Kuzi for not
Well, it's one now, so it doesn't really matter.
a rookie linebacker.
I can't remember his name, but
You have really good linebackers. Why did you need a rookie?
because you can never have enough.
Because
His-
they back up the line.
Yeah, they like backups.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not necessarily like he's going to be starting, but he's a leader, and they focused in on that, and then they showed like, what's his face, the head coach, like.
Are we talking
supporting-
football from here on out?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think that the Tampa Bay Bucks have the best linebacking core?
Right now,
Yeah.
it's arguable. Yeah,
Isn't it Kwan Alexander, right?
Mhm.
And then who's Levante David?
yeah. I mean,
I don't think there's two better. I could argue that all day long, I think.
I don't really know about Levante David.
I mean,
don't
at
know
one
what
point, I
Levante
think you
is.
could have argued Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly, but not now.
But it just shows like he was out. They showed him out on the field, like yelling at players, like commanding people basically. And Dirk Cutter, I believe is his name,
Mm-hmm.
he pointed that out. He was humbled by it. Like it was nice to see that coach acknowledge that.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the episode, they show Jameis Winston
Did
coming
they show
in.
Aguayo getting cut?
No, that's
Okay.
probably going to be on this week's.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome because he sucks. Do they
I mean,
actually?
if you want to go by fantasy points, no, they're not the best.
Well, that's not real life. You know,
Why?
There's a difference.
Why? How's that a difference? Fantasy points adds in all your stats.
Stop. Don't even get into me
Huh?
with that.
Are you kidding me?
Tom Brady didn't lead the league in fantasy points. Is he not the greatest quarterback playing right now?
Yeah, but that's
He's
'cause
the
he-
best quarterback playing. So
if he had
this
not
doesn't
been
mean
suspended
anything.
for 4 games, he would have led the league in points probably.
Maybe. I think average-wise, whoever was number one was still better.
Either way, there's 2 teams. Jacksonville has Telvin Smith and Paul Posluszny.
In Buffalo.
The Rams, I think. I don't even know how they split up. How do they split up like the Chargers and the Rams? 'Cause they're both LA, right?
Yeah, but
LAC.
that is the Rams. Mark Barron and Alec Ogletree.
I know
That is a
Alec
good.
Ogletree.
That's solid too. That's solid. Mark Barron, for those who don't know, was a safety. He decided
For
to
Tampa
move.
Bay.
And even Washington has 2 up there. Mason Foster, I don't know who that is, and Zach Brown.
That's who I had all year. Was Mason Foster. But no one's talking about those 2. They just get tackles because their defense sucks.
They get tackles.
Because their defense is poor.
Well,
You
they
can
get
throw all
tackles.
over them.
The only
That's
argument
like
you have is Quan
skewed
Alexander.
stats,
The
you
only
know?
argument you have
Yeah.
is Quan Alexander was the number 1 overall linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
With
But
Levante David.
But I still don't. Okay, there's a perfect example.
Yeah,
Quan Alexander's number 1 overall. Are we all going to sit here and say he's the greatest linebacker in the league?
Compared.
Luke Kuechly is
Last-
the greatest linebacker in the league. It's
Where
not
was
close.
he? Where was he?
He was concussed the end of the year.
Where's,
so he
where's
wasn't the
David on
greatest.
that list, though?
He's the best.
Obviously not. Not if you're hurt.
I mean, if you have the top 2 tandem, that's.
But you don't have the top 2 tandem.
He's saying fantasy wise, you don't, but you do in real life.
Yeah,
No, you don't in real life. I
Yes,
mean,
you do in real
How
life.
does it not translate to fantasy then?
Because you can't. There's moves that you should know this.
You
but
can't even say
I
it.
shouldn't have to explain this because
No,
you should
because
know
you
this.
because you can't explain it. You don't even know how to.
Because
explain
there's moves you make on the field that push the quarterback's eyes to another direction or make the team go in another direction. You're a problem without even having to do anything because teams game plan for you. Don't you know the Reggie Bush rule? He sucked, but every team admitted that they game planned around not letting him get loose when he was on New Orleans. So even though he didn't do much, he was good. He was effective because the team avoided him, like stopped everything that New Orleans was trying to do with him. So New Orleans had to figure out doing another way. So because Jimmy Graham gets all these underneath passes because Reggie Bush is double teamed the whole time, we're just going to sit here and say, "Oh, Jimmy Graham's so great, but Reggie Bush, he sucks." Reggie Bush doesn't suck. He's been planned for.
You're talking about offensive players that you actually plan for.
I'm talking about defensive players that you plan for. You don't think the offense plans that? You don't think they're like, "Oh, we better double team J.J. Watt because he's going to eat us alive all day."
Yeah,
Yes, they
JJ Watt.
absolutely
Why
do.
does JJ Watt still put up stats then?
He didn't last year because he was hurt.
Okay,
But is he still the best defensive end in the league? Yes.
okay.
That's
Not
my
compared to
point.
last year though. You want to talk about the best defensive end in the league?
It was Khalil Mack. No, that's actually probably
It
Vic
was
Beasley.
Will Mack,
I was gonna say.
but he's also a linebacker apparently.
Yeah.
Cameron Jordan was the best defensive end. by himself. Who did you say?
Vic Beasley led the league in sacks, so I mean, most people would say him.
So back to Hard Knocks. It was also awesome to see like Gerald McCoy, who's trying to be the defensive leader. He was the one doing like rookie jobs, like bringing in pads and shoulder pads and helmets at the end of practice.
Is he your corner?
No, he's the defensive end.
Yeah.
I don't know him.
Defensive lineman.
Yeah.
Safe bet. And then at the end, it shows Jameis Winston waking up at 5 a.m, getting into the training facility by 6 and working in the gym.
I heard Jameis lost a lot of weight.
He looks
trim.
Yeah. I mean, he's a little interesting. He's got like that Bill Cosby-esque mannerisms, so it's kind of hard to like take him seriously. But
And he likes to steal crab legs.
yeah. Well, that was back in college. Now they're giving
Now he can
to
afford
him.
them.
Now they're given to
Yeah,
him.
now he doesn't even have to pay for them.
He doesn't have to worry about NCAA sanctions. The other thing that was kind of funny at the end was they showed like the Bucks players and the coaching staff talking about Game of Thrones and like, oh, did you just see like fucking Daenerys, man? She's bend the knee, John, bend the knee, like all that good stuff. So.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
I
You-
watched one episode.
Yeah, you don't even know what.
Yeah, but I know I'm going to watch it someday.
Someone's asking Jon Snow to bend the knee.
Yeah, I actually saw that on someone else.
See, so I didn't spoil it for you, so stop crying like a little
They
girl.
knew they were going to meet, and it's going to be weird when they do it, and then they're actually related. But,
So much I can talk about right now. But this is not a Game of Thrones podcast.
Catch that one later at 8 o'clock tonight.
So I'll have my review of episode 2 next week. Shows every Tuesday. I haven't watched any of the McGregor.
That's on HBO, right?
Yeah, that's on HBO. The
McGregor All Access, you haven't seen?
Mayweather All Access is on
All
Showtime.
Access.
I haven't watched
Number
any of
one
that.
was just about all the
Yeah.
the promo.
That's the only
that
one I've
was
watched.
a crap one.
Yeah.
Number 2 was a little more entertaining. It was more behind the scenes of their training. Number 3, I heard, is the best one yet. It's more their trash talking and their media days
Okay.
that have gone on. So could be interesting. I'm sure we'll hear about Paulie Malignaggi and what went on in the 4th episode to come.
We've covered that a little bit. It's still going for some reason. They released a video, and that was kind of interesting to see. I get where Paulie's coming from, where you're supposed to show all 12 rounds, but to the point he did get knocked out. Like,
I thought it was a clear. I mean, I believed probably that it was a push, and then when the video came out, I really don't think it was a push. It looked like the shots leading up to the final fall down rocked him. I think he was buzzed, and then he got hit with like a weak shot, and he fell over.
you're also talking about someone that probably isn't training as much as he was when he was.
Yeah,
at
he
the
was.
top of his
Yeah,
game.
he was out of shape.
Yeah.
Retired. But
So-
but I'm not even going to use that as an excuse because I was the first one that said I don't even know if McGregor can beat Paulie, and I still didn't. And McGregor impressed me. That's why I texted you. I was really impressed. McGregor looked sharp. He definitely is awkward, and he has really good timing. And Paulie admitted all those things.
There's a method to his madness, and it's going to be interesting to see. Tickets still available. Shockingly, I know, $20,000 for a ticket. I'd rather pay.
Do you
the
think if we
$100.
all pooled together our money, we could afford that?
No. I can tell you this: you're not getting a dime out of me because I don't control my bank account. So. Houses are expensive in Seattle.
Scratch the house.
One thing I found interesting was McGregor actually must follow a little bit of boxing because I asked him who his favorite fighters were, and he picked some obscure fighters that someone who really followed boxing would only know.
Is this like making the boxing world jealous though that an MMA fighter is getting the attention?
It's making the boxing world, more so the division, jealous that Mayweather's giving someone an opportunity to make all this money that has never had a fight when there's other fighters that have been working their ass off to be second ranked, the number 1 contender, the number 2 contender.
Yeah.
And Floyd's basically saying, fuck you, you're worth nothing to me. So those fighters, yes, are very upset because they think if McGregor got in the ring with them, they would wash the floor with him.
Mm-hmm. You got Triple G.
But Mayweather's 40. I totally get it. It's business. Mayweather doesn't want any bit of the young guns. He wants no part of them.
I think it was a smart move for him to make this happen as quick as he did, because I know with like Pacquiao that took 5 years to get together.
Because he wanted to make sure that the steroids was out of his system, and after that, we saw what happened.
And at least now, you know, he knows this is his last paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Maybe.
You think he comes back?
If he loses to McGregor, does he make a comeback?
No.
Does he come back, fight McGregor again?
No.
Rematch.
You don't think that's in the contract?
If he loses to McGregor...
Because I know Pacquiao had, like, to give 3 more rematches.
In what?
If Mayweather lost.
Oh, yeah. But I don't think Mayweather cares about that.
Wasn't there already talks of Mayweather fighting Pacquiao again after this?
Yeah, but Pacquiao lost to Horn, so I'm not going back.
There's rumors of Horn fighting Pacquiao again, though.
Pacquiao said he'll only come back to fight Horn, and then he'll probably retire. He just wants to get that loss off his record. Because he really won that fight. I've watched it a couple times now. There's no other way to score it.
I feel like if Mayweather lost, he'd come back to fight
I
McGregor.
feel like if he loses, though...
Because think about how much money that would make.
But I feel like if he loses, he knows deep down inside that he doesn't have it anymore. That it's done.
You think that
unless
he doesn't want to go out at a loss?
Unless this fight
There's
is like
no way he wants to go out.
If this fight is like an absolute war and amazing to watch, which it's not going to be.
No, it's not.
Then and he gets the short end of the stick and loses, I could see him saying, "Let's do it again." But if he like goes in and let's say McGregor's stuff becomes reality, and he knocks him out in 2 rounds, Mayweather's not coming back.
Let's say that McGregor catches him on this crazy hit,
but is losing the whole fight. I think that's the only other way Mayweather would come back. Let's say Mayweather won the first 9 rounds, and in the 10th round, McGregor clocks him, knocks him out cold, and that's the end.
Yeah.
Then I think Mayweather would come back.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm just saying, if he gets blown out, he's not coming back.
But even, like, say even he caught him early, and, like, say, like, it was, like, in the first couple rounds, catches him early, and it was a pretty even fight, or maybe even Mayweather was winning the fight, and all of a sudden McGregor hits him with a shot. You don't think Mayweather's going to be like, I would have won that fight if I didn't get caught with that one hit?
What about McGregor even giving him that opportunity? Why not McGregor saying, you know what, I do want to make all this million, there's so much more money in boxing, let me fight these contenders that Mayweather won't fight.
Maybe he will do that, but you're going to get way more money off of that Mayweather-McGregor rematch.
I'm just wondering if you thought McGregor would actually take the shot at the other guys who can actually fight.
No, he won't.
Because I'm going to be honest, I'm a Mayweather fan, but he's not as good as the number 1 and number 2 contenders.
Right.
He couldn't beat them. And he knows that.
Yeah.
That's why you're not fighting him.
Right.
And McGregor's not going to do that because he doesn't consider it real fighting.
Yeah.
So.
But he did say that he has interest in continuing a boxing career.
It'd be interesting to see if that's where the money is. I mean, you don't have that Dana White influence. He's got his promotion now.
Because I think, let's say the other, well, you even know, the other most famous boxer is Canelo Alvarez. He has a fight September 12th. If Canelo happens to win, which I don't even think he will, but if he happens to win, he's the second biggest moneymaker, and he's right around McGregor's weight as well. Let's say McGregor goes in and knocks Floyd out and then has the boxing world going crazy. The next superstar, who's young and good, Canelo, what if McGregor goes, I'll fight him now too for $100 million. Mm-hmm. And what if he beats him too? What if he beats him too? Then the world's going to go crazy.
He's that cocky about himself that he would just be like, yeah, throw anybody against it. If he beats Mayweather, his cockiness is just going to go up even further.
How old is Canelo?
I think he's 26 years old.
I mean, they're right around the same age group too.
He's just, he probably will.
And Canelo's like an animal. He's going to come at him, and McGregor going forward, that would just be... That's a fight that I would really want to see.
Yeah.
Mayweather, we know what's going to happen.
Right.
He's talking like he's going to knock someone out. We all know he's not going to.
What?
His knockout days are over.
Yeah, that's done.
When was the last time he had a knockout? Like 20 years
2009.
ago?
He knocked out Victor Ortiz, but a lot of people don't count that because Victor wasn't looking.
The newest thing was they went for 8-ounce gloves. Did they get that?
No.
That was denied.
Last I saw
was
Vegas
actually
denied
considering it.
Oh, I didn't see it.
It was petitioned by the commission.
Last I had seen, the Vegas denied it.
So nothing yet. Nothing official.
They're using 8 ounces though at media day.
I mean, did you see any of the media day stuff though?
No, did you?
Yeah, McGregor was going really hard. He looks good. He looks fast.
He looks fast, but being a boxing person, there's one thing I did notice. When he hits the heavy bag, his feet aren't on the ground. So you have no power when your feet... In MMA, I get it, because it doesn't... You're trying to be quick and light on your feet as you make moves. But in boxing, you have to sit down, it's called, on your punch and throw to really put power into it. So him being up in the air and punching is not going to bother anybody.
McGregor called Mayweather out and said, you look at it, because Mayweather went first, and Mayweather's is really slow. He's not really hitting.
He never does.
He's just like, he's swinging weights, like 5 pound, like 3.5 pound weights. He starts off with 3.5 pound weights, works to 5, then to 7, and then to 10. I didn't continue watching. I don't know if you pulled out the 50s and started swinging those, but McGregor looked a lot better. He called him out in one of the interviews post workout. I mean,
he said Mayweather looked tired already.
And I mean, 40 years old, he's going through the same training that he probably was back when he was.
He said he's doing the same training regimen, but not as rigorous. So he's not like he's giving himself more rest days in
Not
between.
as intense.
Not as He's not doing okay. I'm going to do the same training, but for 3 days in a row. He's like, let's do it 1 day, 2-day break, another day, 2-day break. So when he is working out, he's working out intensely. But other than that, but a lot of people think that some of it is mind games. Like Mayweather, if you watch the All Access, is making it look like I'm not even training.
Right.
Like I'm just riding my bicycle, hanging out with my family. I can give a shit less about this fight.
Yeah.
And I hope fans don't believe into that hype, because Mayweather would never do that. He would never not take this fight seriously. He's taking it seriously.
And we know
That's
McGregor
just to hype the fight. Yeah.
Because McGregor's ego is on the line, I think, more than anything.
Yeah.
And
Both
I think,
of them.
I think,
Yeah, they
but
both-
I think McGregor
Mayweather is the face of boxing. If he loses, that makes boxing look bad, because boxers have gone over to MMA and lost.
But does he?
They haven't been successful.
Yeah.
So for an MMA guy to come over, and if he is successful, that's not good.
Does he really care if this is his last fight?
Yes.
He's not just
'Cause-
cashing in for a
No,
paycheck.
because just like you know McGregor's ego, I know Mayweather's ego, and there's no way he wants to lose.
You don't know fook about nothing. You don't know what you're talking about.
He lives off of that zero. That's why he's so careful with his fights nowadays.
Do we have anything else to talk about?
Fantasy.
We kind of skipped over NFL. I mean, who really watches preseason anyway? I mean,
The only thing I can say about preseason is everyone's like, oh, Dak Prescott's doing well in preseason. That don't mean shit. Well, it did mean shit. It turned into one of the best quarterbacks in football in 1 year. So, it does matter a little bit, but how
Maybe I'll
much you're
take
going to
him.
weigh it, I don't know.
who was Dak's? Who was on Dak's team? Or who took Dak, I should
Me.
say? You did? Oh. Are you keeping him?
No.
Oh.
He would be my last pick, too.
Do you want to know who everybody's keeping?
Sure, why not? Does everyone have their keepers?
No, Shay doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah, shit. I'm still waiting on shit.
She's still stuck in the office. I just got a text message.
Isn't it Devontae Freeman? Let's just stop the wondering.
No, it's not.
Really?
Probably not.
I looked at her team. She doesn't
Colleen,
have
Tyrod
any
Taylor, Sean, Antonio Brown, Corey, Tom Brady,
Maybe.
Dan, Le'Veon Bell,
You're locked in.
Gary, Sean McCoy, Kevin Clancy, Ezekiel Elliott, Jameis Winston, Ryan, Devontae Adams, me, Carson Wentz. We're still waiting on Mark. Yep. And no, you gave me yours. Mark, Shay.
I was gonna say you just
Sorry. Mark, Shay, and Matt.
Mark, Doug Martin. Shay should be Devonta. I don't know what she's doing.
She probably will.
And then
Although he screwed her over
Matt,
last year.
Matt, I really don't know.
I think he's gonna go with Luck, but
I kind of talked him into going that way, but like I don't have power over him, so
the only way
comes
he's
out
considering
before.
Jordan Howard is who would get him last round.
last. And that is one of the best rounds.
I haven't looked at Shay's team, so I can't tell you.
He can show you.
What do you want to see? Let's see where she drafted everybody.
No, just
She
show her
doesn't.
team.
She doesn't care about the draft order.
No.
She doesn't really have a lot on her
Right,
team,
that's what I
honestly.
mean.
Like, I don't even know
If-
how she had a
If
better
she
record
doesn't
than me.
keep, if she doesn't keep Devonta Freeman,
I don't
really
get
don't
how.
know. what
Actually, I do know how she got a
she
better
has good
record.
defensive players, but you aren't going to keep one of those.
Yeah. And I already know who one of her picks going to be.
Her defensive players
Are good actually. Sean Lee, she had Luke Kuechly.
Yeah, but look at averaging 4.2, 3.4, 6.0.
Sean Lee was good. Jamie Collins is good.
These three are her best.
Yeah.
Those are all solid.
Yeah, but she's not going to keep them.
No.
Look at her team. If she doesn't keep Devonta Freeman, I don't know what she's doing.
Carson Palmer.
No.
I don't even know where she drafted him.
You can't keep him anyways.
Why?
Because he's dog shit.
But you're going to keep him?
This is not your team.
Yeah.
Just like I'm keeping Jameis Winston.
Yeah,
How many people would?
I would. No, I'd keep David Johnson, but I don't think Jameis. I would keep Jameis second over Drew.
She could keep Kenny Stills with Jay Cutler throwing to him.
Well, David Johnson's getting injured. Calling it here first. Injured.
Is he on the cover of Madden?
No.
Who?
He's not getting hurt.
Who is on the cover?
Brady.
Brady.
rolling the dice.
God.
Was it Brady?
I think
Tom
so.
Brady is
I'm
on
pretty
the
sure I'm
cover,
rolling
yeah.
the dice on.
Was it Gronk the year before?
Yep.
Yeah, and he got hurt. That's why I'm telling you guys. No, I'm drafting Jimmy Garoppolo in my first overall pick.
Do it.
You'll see. Week 5, this works out.
Mark.
Yeah, Mark's gonna keep Doug. He has nothing else to do.
Oh, that's Kevin.
Doug Martin.
His best player is DeAndre Hopkins, but it doesn't sound like.
Why
he's
would you
keeping
keep Doug Martin though? He's out for 4 weeks. 3 weeks.
Because he has nothing. Matt Barkley, Robert Kelly, Charles Sims, Des Bryant, DeAndre Hopkins, Doug Baldwin. He could keep a receiver.
Any of those three.
Cameron Brate, Trevor Simeon's. I'm not going to name defense players. If he keeps one of them, he's in there. Doug Martin, Jarvis Landry, Brock Osweiler, Jimmy Graham. He could keep a receiver.
I tell you what, if
Dez
you want to
is gonna
screw
be-
up my team, take Mike Evans because that was my golden goose.
Des
Jameis
is
Winston,
going to be
Mike Evans.
garbage. Hopkins is good. Doug Baldwin will be good.
When are you taking him in your first round?
Mike Evans? I don't know. I got to see who's available. If there's another solid quarterback out there when I come up, I'll take him because this is definitely a quarterback league. I've discovered that.
Yep.
If you don't have a solid number 2 quarterback, you're screwed.
See, I'm assuming the quarterbacks are going to be available for me at number 5. Obviously, I have more options.
I got screwed in this lottery.
Than
Just
you
saying.
did. You didn't get screwed. You got where you were supposed to be, pretty much.
No, I was supposed to be 9.
And where'd you end up? 10?
No, 8. Excuse me, because I lost Corey.
And where'd you end up?
No, you should have been 9. 12, 11, 10, 9.
Yeah, 9. And I ended up 11.
And I'm 9.
See, the person that got screwed was Dane. He was supposed to have like the number 2 pick.
The person who made out is the one complaining.
Yeah.
Number 1. Shouldn't have been.
And he knows he's going to take Aaron Rodgers. That's why he kept Devontae Adams.
You know what?
That duel's
Adrian Peterson, man. Come on.
that duel's gonna be money out
No.
here. Yes.
If he had Jordy.
I'm
if
starting
he
to
had
see
Jordy,
why
it'd
he
be
was
money.
complaining, but I don't agree with the complaint. So,
What do you mean you're starting to see why he was complaining?
well, would you waste the number 1 draft pick on Adrian Peterson?
No.
Yeah. But if
But think about it, you can draft him later anyways.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to draft him in the first
You
round.
have AJ Green.
Nobody's
and
gonna
Matt
draft him in the first
Stafford.
round.
Yeah, why are you keeping Adrian? It doesn't even make sense.
These are the quarterbacks.
Yeah, why?
These are the quarterbacks that are going to be.
This is why I'm in the top 3 every year, because people that are drafting are idiots.
Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees.
says the guy that drafted all Bengals 1 year.
1 year. That's my only bad year.
Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan.
Got a little cocky.
I think I fell asleep one draft.
If one of
That's
these
why I
3
did bad that
quarterbacks
year.
is available to me, which I'm guessing Aaron Rodgers won't be, so if Drew Brees or Matt Ryan are available, I'm definitely pulling the trigger at number 5. Kirk Cousins, I think Andrew Luck's gonna be kept, but I could be wrong. Derek Carr and Ben Roethlisberger / Phillip Rivers, I guess. I don't really feel confident in Dak Prescott. But those 3 would probably be at number 5, maybe. I might have to go receiver instead.
Oh, shit. Stefan, do you have a top 5?
I do.
All right. I don't have your music pulled up. I'll insert it in the background.
Yeah.
So
insert
just
it in
do
the
your
background.
Stop fantasy football. Keep it one.
I already did it. Go on.
It's gonna be something we can do.
You won't know any of these people.
What is it?
This is the top 5 worst 40-yard dashes that would have beaten Corey and Kevin.
I don't appreciate this. I don't think I should encourage this. Because
You asked for it.
This hasn't even been released yet. We haven't.
Well,
even...
you can put this on the next one.
No.
You don't know these. Yeah, none of these people.
Exactly. You don't know anybody. But you can see.
Hypothetically, they beat us.
Hypothetically.
'Cause we haven't released our times yet.
But I did not get to wear track gear and track shoes that they ran.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I could have beat them with those.
But these guys had like 200 pounds on you guys. Probably.
Sure.
Maybe like 150 on Kevin. I don't know how much Kevin weighs.
I weigh 171.
How much do you think I will?
200.
Thanks
5.
for going. Oh, thanks for going under. I'm like 210. I feel good about that. That you said under. Means I
I
only
was
have to
kind of
lose.
close though.
Means I only have to lose 5 pounds instead of 10.
I always go politely.
Politely under.
Yeah, that's why you raised it 5 pounds. Politely.
I have a feeling you weren't going to say 165 though for me.
I don't know what I would have guessed.
I would say like 170.
That's what I would.
And then Stefan's like a hulking 210.
No, actually.
Right.
It's under
I
200.
was. I am under 200. I got sick for 2 weeks and I lost like 10 pounds.
That
So
doesn't count.
why not?
Have you gained it back?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Yeah, that doesn't count. You probably gained it back.
Do
Your frame.
we want to do this top
I'm not
5? Or
saying
you want
you
me to?
look-
I can
I'm not-
save this for next week.
I'm not saying you look fat. I'm just saying. Well, what else do you
Well, we
got?
said
Do you have
hulking.
another top 5?
You said-
Do I have an? Yeah, like I just put in like 15 different top 5s and just
Go
have them
ahead.
all just
Go ahead.
chilling
Name
in
them.
there.
Go with it.
No, I want to save it till the
Okay.
time gets posted. So my top 5. We'll go with the top 5 people I hate in our fantasy football league. How about that?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, this is perfect. I love it.
I already
can
have
chalk
my
us up
number
in
one.
one and two.
We'll go with recent events.
I was going to
maybe.
say, I already know who number 1 is.
Let's say
Not me.
number 5 is going to come in as
This is a real
This is
list.
really got to think about this.
I am gonna really think about this. Number 5, we'll just because Matt gave me a lot of work to do. He's just
5?
Yeah,
You're giving him 5?
I'm gonna give him 5, just because I have some other people that are closer to me that I.
I don't know. I would say
That
2
annoy
for
me.
him.
Well, yeah, you.
Okay, number 5.
I'm surprised you would want to put him at number 1.
He gained a little respect. last
Gained a little
year. You're
respect.
number one.
I'm back to
You're
number 1. I'm back to
You're
number 1.
one.
Put Matt in at number 5, just because he's a pain in the ass sometimes.
I have no issues with him.
Still-
He makes good points.
Still, yeah. Well, he likes to challenge everything I do.
I
He
think
was
he's-
challenging my draft style, so draft order style. I didn't appreciate that.
Oh, how we did the lottery?
Yeah.
What was his issue on that? See, why do you got him at 5 then if he's...
Keep talking. You're just going up at this point. So go ahead. Keep going.
For
Keep
what?
going.
Isn't he already like number 2?
He's climbing steadily.
I come up with good ideas. Gold.
Where is he now? Who's number 4?
Number 4, I'm going to put Mark at number 4 just because he never shows up to the drafts.
I was gonna say, he's the guy.
And ends up with no quarterbacks at the
He's
beginning
the guy
of the season.
you should not be, because if you don't show up to the draft, we have to wait 5 minutes for it to
We have an
auto.
official Shea keeper,
Oh.
Devontae Freeman.
Shocker. I mean, what can I say? If you don't show up for the draft, people don't like you.
And he just he could be good, and like his teams could be good if he would just draft. Like literally, if he just made it to the draft, like his teams would be decent. But every year he forgets somehow, and he gets up.
I have a reason why. It's
And he-
only legal on the West Coast.
I don't even. It could just be drinking too.
Or Molly.
No, he doesn't do that stuff anymore.
Not since he...
But I mean, at the same time, I could argue Kevin Clancy.
Is that his number 3?
No, I'm going to leave him off. He doesn't really bother me. He's just there.
Yeah, he's
He's just there.
he's
He's
just-
just that 12th team, honestly.
He's everybody that loses to him feels bad about
Yeah.
themselves.
He was actually starting to get better.
Not
until
me last year because I didn't even have the opportunity.
He was getting better until
No, I had
last
the
year.
toughest schedule by default.
I thought you played him.
Just because you didn't play the last place team?
Yeah.
No.
Everyone else got an easy win except me.
I didn't even beat him! I was one of his 2
That's
wins.
your own problem. That's your own problem.
No, it's not my own problem. I had the toughest schedule. Look at how many points I had put up against me. I had the toughest schedule. Don't even give me your bullshit.
I probably played better teams.
Yeah, okay.
They just happen to have good weeks against you.
Although I had a really great week against you.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3.
Taking some.
I do like this. I do like this top 5 because we get to find out like the do's and don'ts in fantasy football.
In Stefan's mind.
Yeah. Well, in our minds too, because we agreed that if you don't show up.
Yeah, that's
draft,
fantasy football number 1, 101. Show up.
I mean, I get it. Like, not like.
I get it. You're swimming. It's fine.
Do a Molly, whatever.
Number 3, I'm gonna. It's between 2 guys. I just don't know which one to pick.
I wonder which 2 guys.
I'm gonna give it to Sean just because he won it and he's just been talking shit, and that's all I hear about is how great he is, and it's just.
He also won us that other thing we were playing where we had to pick the games.
Oh yeah, and he was in like 2 other, I think, fantasy football leagues, and he won both of those. So he's like on top of the world right now in football. Like he just thinks he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. And
you know what?
Is he in the
Shouts out to
Champions
Sean.
League?
huh?
Is he in the top?
Him and Gary have always been up there. I haven't been able to make it up there yet to play them. I'm hoping to finally make it up there, but probably won't.
I'll knock him down for you.
So that'll be number 3, just because he's super cocky right now, and I can't deal with him.
Cockiness, not a friend.
Kevin made a quick move up to number 2, just because he was being a douchebag right here for the last 5-10 minutes.
Usually not even in the top 10.
But also, I just hate playing him because he's beaten me the last
7 years.
something like that. Not 7 years.
In the regular season.
Not the last 7 years.
6, sorry. You beat me in 2011.
I guarantee you I've beaten you since then.
It's true. No, we already looked this up.
No, we
last
did
year.
not. I'm looking it up right now.
Who's number 1 though?
Yeah.
Number 1 will be the person that's giving me a hard time. Probably not going to watch it, so I'm okay with saying that. Just let me run my league. Let me do what I'm doing.
Ooh, your league?
My league.
You're not
Yes.
making him co-commissioner?
He could be co-commissioner, but it's still my league, regardless. If you want to go and start a new league, go start a new league. I'm okay with that.
See how many of us follow.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is not.
And then guess what? Then I don't have to run a league, and then I'm happy.
You're happy running the league. You're
I
having
like
fun.
I was gonna say this is
I
mostly
get
your
off of
league.
this shit.
You like controlling people. It's okay.
No, deep down he likes fantasy football, and that's the problem because he likes it, so it drives him berserk when he has bad seasons.
Because I get all the points scored against me every year. I want to go back and look and see how many years I'm in like the top 3, at least top 3 in points scored against me. I'm gonna see if I can look it up right now. Actually, I really want to see.
For those of
this.
you who think Stefan doesn't like fantasy football,
So we already know.
That
we already
little
know
outburst
I had the
didn't
most points
mean
scored
anything.
against me last year.
Was it?
Oh, they're not even
I
gonna
thought
let
you
me.
were second most.
I don't think they're gonna let me.
No, you
Yes,
can
they
change
will.
the year.
I got it. No, I know, but I didn't know if they're gonna let me see the
Just let
points.
him run his league.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna run
I'm
my
sorry.
You're already number 2.
Yeah.
Slow your roll.
I like being number 1 though. Damn.
All right, so I was like number 4.
If
The
he's
year
already
before.
making fun of me, like
So I was in top 4,
Berries love hate.
2015. 2014
Rough year.
wasn't that bad actually.
That was a bad one for me. The best of the Bengals. That was my bad team.
the best of the Bengals.
It's my only bad year. My only losing season.
Yeah, you had a lot of points scored against you though. That was your big problem.
Yeah.
I was, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I wasn't really that. I wasn't that high in that league that year. Somehow I still ended up with just barely winning record. 2013. Maybe it's just the 2 recent years, okay? This year I did well. I went 11-2.
That's when I drafted David Wilson and it was a mistake. Didn't hurt me too bad.
Did I make it a championship this year?
Looks like it. Stefan likes fantasy football. He just doesn't like losing it. And when he does it, all the right things,
I lost.
but then the other
That's why I
team
had you number
has
2. I
to-
think it has it how people finish.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I have no problem being number 2. I'm actually a little offended that I'm not number 1 because you're my number 1, so it's fine. I'll get over it.
2012 had to be my
Who's
first.
your number 1?
Who I dislike the most?
Oh.
Yeah, let's let everybody name their number 1 right now.
Matt. He's my nemesis.
Okay.
And I'm your number 1?
Yeah. Matt, gain a little respect.
Matt, yeah, no one else can have Matt as a nemesis. He's mine.
He was mine till last week.
Finished second that year, right? 2 out of 3 years I finished second.
You-
Haven't been there in a long
You
time.
used to be good.
Used to be good. I peaked back in high school.
I was good. I was good once.
I saw you as the man, homie. What happened to you?
All right, what do we got coming up next week? Are we going to talk more McGregor Mayweather, or do
Next
we
week?
watch, I have it in
It's
the
getting
notes.
really
with the
close because it's the following, so we
Yeah.
might want to.
Yeah.
Maybe our
We're-
our
already-
predictions.
I already
we
gave
already
you
give-
it. I
we
already
already
gave
give
it. I mean, we can give our opinions of the latest episode. I got no problem with that. We'll have our fantasy draft recap.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Are
this Sunday.
we going to grade each other's
Sunday.
draft picks?
Well, we can.
No,
we
we
can
should
go
grade
by
the draft
We can do that
for everybody.
Yahoo does it too, also.
That's true.
Do we agree with Yahoo? How about that?
Yeah, we can do that. We'll go by Yahoo's, and then we'll just see if we agree with it or not.
We'll have our NASCAR preview. Darlington in 2 weeks, so it's another fun track, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's a short one. Fantasy baseball, as always, more preseason, and then because I'm going to do it similar to this, it will work because whether you guys hear it or not, they will hear it. I will be back in Seattle, so don't have to deal with these two numbskulls.
In this hot studio.
Yeah. God, I thought mine was bad.
Well,
Holy
you thought
crap.
you were 210. You'll be 200 when you get
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I kind of made up for it with the beer. I got to keep those carbs going. We'll have college football next week.
Are we doing our top 25?
We're going to have our own poll.
for
Corey,
week 1.
surprise.
Should we have it prepared for this one for next week or for the week after?
What do you mean?
When do we need our top 25?
Yeah, we'll do it for next week. Why not? It's not that hard.
No, I know.
You guys are probably just going to copy and paste anyway.
No, mine's gonna be.
No, I'm pulling.
Or do you wanna-
pulling up like Louisiana Lafayette, Raging Cajuns?
I mean, we can go with your top 5 from April. I kept that.
Oh, I'm definitely keeping them as my top 5.
Alabama, USC, Ohio State, Florida State,
Yeah.
Clemson.
Where's mine?
You didn't make one. This was Stefan's.
Oh, it's top
That was
5.
my
Yeah,
original
top
top 5,
five, not
I think,
five.
wasn't it?
No, your original is the MMA thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
that was the.
That set it off.
That
Because
was-
it was just so
that was
ridiculous.
just the beginning.
So ridiculously good.
Yes. Took
Uh,
the words right out of my mouth.
sorry this wasn't live, but not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
This was more fun.
I love that new song.
That's
Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato. Yeah.
Should I put that on the background?
Summer Jam.
Yeah.
Summer Jam.
I'll have to look it up. Until next time, I'll be on different that way. I'll be over there. More.
You guys see me?
Oh, that's what I forgot to mention.
Combine.
Combine next week.
We
That
did
video will
it.
be added.
We all survived.
Look at us. In shape now.
Oh yeah.
I lost the whole 5 pounds after I peaked. What?
What?
Later.
More.